Hello and welcome back to the Block Update podcast. It is episode 87. As usual, I am joined by SlackLizard, affectionately known by his mother as Jonathan, and I am FoxyNoTail. Forgot for a second. Affectionately known by my mother as, why is my computer barking like a dog?
You're not supposed to do that to them.
Yeah, when I was young and I was learning, right, Windows, we had Windows 3.1, then we had Windows 95, right? And I found that you could like change the sounds for all sorts of crazy things, like all of the notifications. You can still do it on Windows now, but I found there was loads of different like built-in sounds, and one of them was a dog. And I just thought every time it would be funny, every time instead of it going boom because there's a problem, if it made the dog bark noise. But my mum didn't appreciate it. She didn't appreciate it at all. Slack, I was in big trouble. And then because of that, right. So I was good at computers from a young age because that's all I was interested in. In fact, at the age of 13, from a whole bunch of spare parts and bits and bobs I'd managed to collect from people, I built my first computer. But my school that I was at a couple of years before that, my primary school, I left at 11, but I was still pretty good at computers then. They got in their first computer, and it was the computer they used for the library, right? So they would get kids like in the top year at school, at like lunch times and break times, to go from taking everything off the old library cards to input that data into like a database on this computer. But the teacher that operated the computer wouldn't let me go anywhere near it. I wasn't allowed. I was banned. And that was only because my mum, who used to also work at that school, had been telling tales of me making computers bark like dogs in the staff room. So all of a sudden, there was this one computer in the school. My eyes lit up when we got that, and I wasn't allowed to touch it.
I'm just curious, what's your biggest derp that you ever made with a computer?
Oh, man. Oh, geez.
Your biggest, you learned a lesson the very hard way.
You know my memory doesn't work like that. My memory works by being reminded of things, but I'm pretty sure I fried a motherboard before. I've definitely blown up a power supply before.
Yep, done that. You want a quick chuckle?
Yeah.
I self-taught on computers. No one didn't take it in school or anything like that. Once upon a time, I wanted to install this game called Diablo 2 on my computer. And I only had at that time, it was 200 megabyte hard drive?
Yeah.
But the game took 180 megabytes to install.
Ooh.
Well, I decided I was going to start deleting things so that I can install the game.
Delete Windows.
Don't need this folder. Don't need that folder. What is System 32? Don't need that folder. What is this? So I was able to install the game. Everything worked good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I learned the hard way that you can't just move the Windows folder. So the whole, because depending on what device you had, like I'd used Apple Macs at someone's house. On an Apple Mac, you can move, or used to be able to move an application just from one place to another, and it would still work because it's all built into the file. So I just assumed the same thing was on Windows. So I moved my Windows folder. That didn't work. I moved my programs folders. They didn't work. That didn't work. So I learned the hard way. Probably most of the things I know about computers, I learned the hard way, what not to do.
Well, we didn't have Google.
We didn't have Google.
No,
and
you messed up. You had to figure out how to do it all and fix it yourself. Yeah.
In my teens, my secondary school had only just got like a computer room. And it was one that you could go in at break times, but you couldn't do anything. The best thing they had on there, they were all Apple Macs as well. They had do you know what they did so that they knew they were from the school? Rather than putting a sticker on or like a stamp, like a branding a stamp into it, they drilled a hole in the screen, but not deep enough in to go all the way through. But in the middle of every single screen, there was like a 3 or 4 millimeter wide hole that they drilled in. So they knew those. So you could, if there was something in the middle of the screen, you couldn't see it. Because they're only small.
That's good.
But that's how little my school knew about computers. It was like, I would just drill a hole in. They'd never seen computers before. They didn't know what to do with them. Again, I knew more than they did. But the only decent application there was on those, there was nothing other than this thing called HyperCard. And HyperCard was an Apple Mac program, which was basically enabled you to animate like a flip book. So you could draw like it was only black and white. You could draw like a little circle, and then on the next page you could draw that circle moving. And we all used to sit there at break times and make these like little animations of like worms running about. that was all it had. So anyway,
good. yeah.
We should probably talk more about the podcast, shouldn't we? As usual, we like to start the show by thanking our patrons. We now have 55 patrons, including 5 top-tier patrons, who are James Carter, Stitch Fix, The Praetor, Essifer, and Diesel Wolf. Thank you so much for patroning up at the toppest tier, our Minecraft 2.0 patrons. If you would like to support the show, you can do by going to patreon.com/theblockupdate. Prices are per podcast, and if we miss a week like we did last week, you don't get charged. It's great. No money go out. It's fantastic. And the minimum access you'll get, access to our patron-only feed for bonus content where we record it, which we do every week. This week we talked about, Slack went in a deep dive into keyboard shortcuts for video editing and things like that. We talked about what we would PC requirements for running Minecraft and all sorts of crazy stuff. And then you also get access to our Discord and our patron-only Discord channels and a Discord role. So it's a rather decent little system we got set up there. These bonus shows, I really enjoy doing them. They go out every week now, and we talk about all sorts of stuff. So you're missing out if you're not listening.
My computer's barking like a dog. No, that's that's all my dogs.
Okay, right. Before we get to the feedback, I haven't talked to you about this yet, Slack, but I want to make a change with the podcast. I want to do it one a year. Is that okay? No, I have been through so every week we get a random number of feedback, we get a random number of Bugdate, random number of wishlist, and a random number of questions. And sometimes we can get loads, and sometimes we get very little. And sometimes this podcast goes on for a good 2.5 hours, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is every Wednesday evening, we finish the podcast for me around about 11 o'clock at night. I'm hyped up because I've been drinking coffee the whole way through it, and I don't get to sleep until sort of 1 or 2 in the morning by the time I've wound down. The next day I wake up, I'm a zombie for hours trying to edit the thing, putting very little effort into editing it, and as a result, it's not as good a podcast as it could be.
Right.
And I don't want a podcast to suffer from that. So I'm going to make a concerted effort to cut down massively on the feedback, the wish list, and the questions, and only actually put the stuff in that I think's worthy. Okay. And as a result, have a shorter show so that I'm not up till 1 or 2 in the morning every Wednesday and then a zombie in the next day, so I can put more effort into editing it again. Is that
sounds
fair?
Good. Yeah, it sounds fair.
Okay, yeah, so we did get a good amount of all of those things, but a lot of it, I just thought, well, I picked the best ones, basically.
Yep. Sounds good. It sounds real good. I like that.
Good. Right, well, in that case, let's get into the feedback and find out what there is.
Let's start off with Stitch Fix this week. This says, my feedback on the vine growth. Max growth sounds great, but doing so will change the look of lush caves. Maybe adding a game rule that makes the max growth is day 10 unless under level 0. Huh?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. But I just want to start that by saying that's wrong. Lush caves won't be affected at all because when you go to a lush cave, it's naturally generated. The vines don't suddenly start growing as you approach it.
No.
If you've loaded that lush cave for ages, yes, when you go in there, the vines might be longer than they would have done. But when the world generates, those vines are already at that level.
Yeah. And
then they grow because they've been loaded. So having max growth on vines wouldn't change the look of lush caves at all. They just wouldn't after, let's say you've based above one and they didn't even know it was there and you end up at it a few days later, suddenly be massively overgrown. They would just look normal. So I don't think that's a problem at all.
No.
Okay. Mike says, one way to have supporters join your server without risk of lag and chaos is to have it as more of contract labor. You could choose a build you need and place it, and a place for it to go, and then a person can volunteer to build it. They get access to do the build, then when complete, they lose access. It's an opportunity to impact your world and feel part of its development without expectation of continued access. That's true, and that's not a bad way of going around doing it. This is in response to me talking about, do you remember I was saying about wanting people to join my Create world, but I don't want it just lagging out and then telling everybody to go away again. And I think a similar sort of thing would appear here. You've got a level of expectation. Oh, I'm playing on this world. Oh, I'm gone away again. And I don't want people to feel disappointed. I would never want people to feel disappointed with something. So if I'm going to involve people in anything that I'm doing, I don't want it to be, oh, this is great. Oh, now it's bad. Because then you're leaving on a bad note. I want it to be great, 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 great. And then it's over. So I like that idea, and there's definitely wiggle room to work with on that, and something definitely to consider. But the other consideration I've had, and I don't know whether the people would find this cheaty, but I was supposed to do it this weekend, but I ran out of time because Oliver was here. I said to my patrons, I'm going to set up an exact copy of my world in Create as a patron server. And then they can go in there and they can all choose, either as a team or individual, an area in that world to build a town or a village or something. My existing builds are going to be on there. And what I'd really like to come out of this, but I don't want to set expectations here because I don't know whether this would be too cheaty. But I'd then like to go round maybe once a month and go, that's fantastic. Let's take that world, copy those chunks and put that in my world and connect it all up. Would that be cheaty? Just importing a world? Because it's still all been built in survival.
I don't know. It's one of those, you got to be comfortable with it. I kind of did something like that with Slackville. Early on, every time we finished a TB season, I would take my base and import it in over there. But it never felt right.
Yeah, but that's something you're doing. That's so. Obviously the series is me building stuff in Create, but I would like to have that world feel a little bit more alive in terms of other areas that have also been built not by me. Not anywhere near anything I'm building, but in a way that they can be linked up with trades and things like that. So in my head, that's a win-win situation because I can give people a server to play on which they want. Everybody can go mad on there as long as they're not completely lagging it out for everybody else and build what they want. They've got total freedom. And then they've also got this, like I do at the end of all of my servers, I go around and go, oh yeah, you're the winner, you're the winner, you're the winner. And I give out free merch because they've done a good job. So they get that good feeling. And I also get that, look at this cool thing that's in my world now. I don't think that's a bad thing. And particularly with Create, there's a thing called a schematic cannon. Now, it's only got a certain range, but you can take a schematic, and it's you watch a lot of Create people, they do it. They'll build something in creative, they'll take a schematic of it, they'll go and gather all the resources they need in their survival world, put that schematic into the cannon and choose where they want it, and this cannon will just build it. So they don't have to place any of the blocks. It's kind of the reverse of Lightmatica.
It's kind of like a structure block.
Yeah,
except you got to
have to give it the resources. And it does take time. It's pretty slow.
I mean, you are playing modded. So at the end of the day, if you're comfortable with it, then do it.
Yeah. I'm just not 100% sure I'm comfortable with it. So I could do with some feedback on that, peeps. Cheers.
Yeah. The one that would worry me is if, like, okay, so you took this person, this person, this person, this person, but this one person's been on there for months and everything they've done, and like nothing ever gets on there. They might feel upset, but then again, you're never going to please everybody. So no, that's but you could say the same thing about, oh well, we all play the lottery. Do you feel totally miserable every time you lose? Yeah,
you don't lose, you just don't win, do you?
Yeah, well, I don't play the lottery, so I'm not going to win.
You know what I mean? There's an expectation. It's I don't want to say it's gambling, but there's like with anything you enter, any competition you enter, any race you enter, anything, you don't expect to win. The enjoyment is taking part, and if you win, brilliant, I won, I can't believe it. But if you didn't win, you shouldn't walk away from it feeling awful.
Look, like
unless it's a hot dog eating
competition,
I'd feel miserable if I failed one of those because I know I could win.
Look, as you said, the series is going to have a limited lifetime. It's probably one of those trends on YouTube. Do it. If it doesn't work, then you can bend the ideal really quick.
Yeah, and it's unique. Yeah. Okay, right, next feedback.
Ginger Muffin says, would like to see the One Chip Challenge, but there's a warning. The One Chip Challenge was banned off of Amazon after an American 14-year-old died of it, and Amazon's bans sellers of selling it. Yeah, there's always any challenge going on out there. There's a chocolate bar challenge, and it's now been banned. So
it's because people take things to excess. I'm sure there'll be different versions of it. There'll be different varieties of it. Some will be worse than others. I'm not saying we should do it. Like today I had, for my lunch, I had this thing. I can't remember what it was, but it had fresh chili in it. And every time I like chili, but it was a really strong red pepper, basically. And every time I chewed into it, my mouth was on fire. And I'm thinking, do I really want to do this one chip challenge thing?
Yeah, and there's no
You've got to do it
law.
within reason. We don't, take things to excess. It's a problem. You do something reasonably and you're all right, I think.
And just because it's a challenge doesn't mean you have to go to the point of winning it. Like if, say, we did get to that point, okay, and I took a nibble of it and I decided that I didn't like it and I'm not going to risk my health, then I'd just say no. Oh, what's it out? Well, you know what? It's my body. If I want to, then I will,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, number one electrician says, "Hi boys, been listening for a little while now and enjoying your raw, unfiltered opinions. I don't always agree, but this is what opinions are. Some people don't get that. That's foreshadowing, Slack. That's foreshadowing for the last piece of feedback.
That's like saying, but with all due respect,
No. This one's really nice, but we've got a piece of feedback that I've put in. I shouldn't have done, but I did because, well, anyway, we'll see.
Okay.
Just remember that's what opinions are. Opinions don't have to be shared, and it's good to respect other people's opinions. Okay.
Yep.
They continue. My favorite part of your podcast is when Foxy uses his high-pitched voice pretending to be other people doing silly things. Keep it real, number one electrician. Really nice feedback. Love it. Thank you very much, number one electrician. Okay, Slack, would you like to read the next feedback? And then I'll get to the one.
Okay, so Danger Kitty / Lucas M is up next and says, good job on the create videos. They have gotten me back into your content and they feel like you're having fun and putting effort into videos again. Who knows, one of your create videos might become one of the most viewed if you keep doing this.
Well, possibly. The 1,000 days one. It's so weird. Like long form content, we've always known. Like when me and you have put long plays out, they can either be hit or miss, but they perform over time. And tutorials or stuff that's searchable performs over time. This 1,000 days thing, Mr. Beardstone told me this is how it would go, but I didn't believe him. It's like, put out a 4 or 5 hour long video, and it might not perform like as well as your normal videos, but it will just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. I'm like, no, videos don't do that. Anyway,
oh my God, this next one's great.
This video has been growing and growing and growing, and it is on track to become one of my highest ever watched videos. So you never know. Okay, this last piece of feedback from BNC. Wow, it made me laugh reading this. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
Just keep one word in your head while you're listening to this piece of feedback, and that word is irony. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I was starting without laughing. You two have to... Let's include the grammar mistakes and all.
Okay.
You two have the most pretentious and arrogant podcasters I've ever heard. You are the epitome of what an American is. And the bad part, you're not even American. I managed to make it through 2 of your podcasts and realize neither of you care about anyone else's opinion, just your own. The my way or the highway when it comes to ideas, suggestions, and definitely in big capital letters, know nothing in big capital letters about programming. Room temp IQ, podcast delete from my list. Woo! What's your response to that, Slack?
Don't let the door hit you where the Lord split you. Sorry. Doesn't bother me.
The thing is, right, okay. There's a couple of things I take away from this on a serious note. Somebody that doesn't know us and doesn't understand us and has never seen any content from us could quite easily mistake our attitude towards opinions and wish lists and things like that as being really arrogant and pretentious, because we do. We joke about. We'll go, no, we're not interested. We'll put that in the bin, not even listen to it, because we know it winds people up that are regular listeners and we enjoy doing it.
Yep.
That's how we are. We have got this really nice, I think it's fun, but I can imagine from someone that's never seen any of that, looking and listening to what we're doing, and it takes me back to the Computer Game Show podcast. When I was listening to that, I listened to a bunch of episodes, and I'm thinking, these guys are awful. They're so horrible to each other. How can they? But I continued listening because I quite enjoyed some of it, and I got used to. I realized that's their humor. I get it now. some people just aren't going to get it. They're never going to get it.
No.
But the thing that makes me laugh, the reason I'm laughing is because that exact attitude that they hate is exactly what this feedback is.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I don't like your opinion about not liking people's opinion. Brilliant. Oh, perfect. So thank you, BNC. You won't hear this because you've deleted us from your list, but it brings a tear to my eye with just how much I enjoyed your opinion there.
It's great too. You know, who knows? I'm going out on a limb. I might offend somebody here, and I don't really care because.
Oh, don't do it.
Oh, well, that sounds like a response from a Gen Z or to a Gen X, and you and I are both Gen Xers, and we could literally care less. The era we grew up in.
It does sound like a very entitled person's. Yep. I don't like this. How can? The thing is, right?
Yep.
You can anyone listening to this, have whatever opinions you want.
Yep.
And this is going to sound arrogant and pretentious. This is our podcast.
Yep.
This is mine and Slack's podcast. So we're going to side with our own opinions. Yep. This isn't let's invite everybody on and have their opinions and then just go, oh yeah, I totally agree with you. But that's not how we are. We are honest and open. If we don't agree with someone's opinion, we'll either jokingly dismiss it in a fun, what we consider to be a fun way, or we'll argue with reason against it and go with our opinion because that's our opinion. Sometimes people have changed their opinions. We've added loads of stuff to the wish list. A lot of those we've thought, well, that's a rubbish idea, and then we've thought about it and we've changed our opinion. You know?
And then, like you even said too, for people who haven't been there for the years of watching our YouTube content together and everything else, and the podcast is your first experience with us, good luck understanding our relationship as friends.
But the thing is, it's people like this that stick around. I remember for probably about over a year, every single time I uploaded a YouTube video, there would be somebody would dislike it. Every single time. Yeah, it was way before, I wasn't getting enough likes and dislikes and views for it to be random that just somebody disliked it. It was that same person every single time. And I'm thinking, if you don't like it, stop wasting your life. It's not going to change anything. I'm not going to stop making the videos. The dislikes don't matter, right?
No. Well, it was actually proven that the dislikes actually put you in more of a controversial category, and they pushed you out even more.
So they're just like they're obviously staying subscribed to get notified when I've put a video, and they're obviously watching those videos to dislike them.
Yep.
Crazy people. Crazy people. Right, anyway, that's enough of the feedback. If you would like to leave us feedback, then please do by joining the Discord and putting it in there. You can also go to the website, which is theblockupdate.com, and fill in the feedback form.
But we prefer the Discord because we like to streamline the process. Yeah. I mean,
it's easy on the Discord. Yeah. I can just copy and paste it in. When it goes to the feedback form, there's like a million buttons I got to press.
Oh, come on. Quit whining already. Jesus.
No, I shall never quit whining, Slack. Jeez, that's what I do best. Time for the news.
Yes.
Starting with Minecraft 1.20.41 for Bedrock Edition, which fixed some crashes. Next up was Minecraft Beta and Preview 1.20.50.23, which added chiseled copper and the recipe for that, updated the crafter textures, added recipes for tough blocks, waxed chiseled copper, waxed copper doors, waxed copper gates. I'm just reading the changelogs, peeps, because there's really not all that much in it. They just updated a bunch of textures. There's not really a great deal else in these, to be honest with you. They were a bit lacking. One thing that is interesting is that the crafting and inventory screen that, you've got the craftable toggle, all craftable, or thingy, that will be saved between play sessions now, so you don't have to keep clicking it every time you want to change it, which is nice.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure they'll break something.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of nonsense in there that I don't really care about. If you want to read the full changelogs, then you can do. All of the links to these will be in the show notes and the description below. The next changelog is Minecraft Beta and Preview 1.20.50.24, which came out today, and we was all expecting the new trial chambers in this one, but there was a post on the Twitter from Mojang going, soon for Bedrock Edition. It's out for Java Edition, but not for Bedrock Edition. Interestingly, though,
we're the redheaded stepchild. Yep.
they have added a feature so that you can put a link. You can create like a desktop link. A little bit like to get access to the Minecraft editor that you had to make a special link. Same sort of thing, but you can go straight into a realm without having to load up, like go through Minecraft and go to your realm. So that's kind of cool. If you play on a realm a lot, just double click the icon on your desktop and you go straight to that realm. It'll still go through the same process for loading up Minecraft and then going straight into the realm, but it's just one less button to click, I guess, once you get there.
That's fair.
And then there's not a great deal else, really. So very, very light update for Bedrock Edition.
Yep.
Flying out of that one and into Java Edition Snapshot. I can't see it now because it says SlackLizard. Oh, yeah, 23W44A. And this is not today's one. This is last week's that, again, just changed a few textures for copper doors and copper trapdoors and things like that. There's a few changes to the tick command and a few other things and bits and bobs. Not a massive amount of interest in there, to be perfectly honest with you. So we're going to go to the brand new one today, which is Minecraft Java Edition Snapshot 23W45A, which does have the stuff we're excited about in Slack.
No, it doesn't. I haven't even seen this today yet.
Got the Breeze mob.
Okay.
And I'm not going to get to it unless if people haven't seen already, there is a brand new thing that wasn't in the Minecraft live show that people are getting excited about, and that's in this.
Well, this podcast comes out in a couple of days. If people here in live chat, they're spoiling themselves, I want to know. It's our podcast.
Right, okay. So the Breeze mob, we saw it in the Minecraft live show. We talked about it a little bit after that with some speculation, and now we know exactly what it does. And we were wrong, Slack.
Were we?
Yeah. It doesn't do redstone at all. Its little charge thing doesn't activate. It does activate some redstone components, but it is not a redstone pulse. What it does do is it is a cunning hostile mob that can spawn via the trial spawner in some rooms with trial chambers. So It's not just going to be in there. It will be part of the actual trials themselves. And I believe, although we'll get to this a bit later on, I might be wrong, but I believe it's just sort of randomly comes out of the trial spawners, any trial spawner. So if it's a slime spawner, it can still make a breeze, I think.
Okay.
It leaps. It does big old jumps. It moves around like crazy. And there was a little video on the Minecraft Monthly, which I watched just before the podcast, that showed a bunch of this stuff going on. And it really does leap about quite a lot. And it's an aggressive adversary. It shoots volatile wind energy in the form of a wind charge projectiles at its target. They only deal a small amount of damage if they hit directly to an entity, so they're not particularly painful, but they have a whole bunch of knockback and can knock you back several blocks, which could be quite off-putting because some of these trial chambers are quite high. And whilst the spawners are relatively low, they do have like blocks and stuff in the ceiling, so you could end up getting pushed off stuff. So make sure you got feather falling and things like that. They also have an activating effect. So non-iron doors and trapdoors will be flipped. Fence gates, buttons, levers, and bells will all be flipped. Or bells will be rung and swung. Lit candles will also be extinguished, which I thought was quite nice. So you could have a breeze at your birthday party and blow your candles out for you. But they don't have an effect on iron doors and trapdoors. So they're not a redstone signal. They don't emit a redstone signal. They're not going to power redstone all of a sudden. So it's not going to be like, that's not what it's going to be. But you could still use it as a redstone signal if you wanted to, some sort of random thing. You could put an observer and a trapdoor next to it and it could activate that by chance. But I still think chicken on pressure plates is probably the best randomizer.
Okay.
Then we get to the trial spawner, and there's a lot more information on these trial spawners. So again, we saw these in the live show. They have given us exactly what mobs will come out of those and how that all works. There are mob categories. So we know that the level of the trial spawners change depending on how many players are nearby. We know they've got a cooldown, and we know that they can be mined, but they won't drop even with Silk Touch. They'll just be broken. So we know all of that. So the interesting thing is not in this bit. It's further down, I guess. In creative, you can set them with a spawn egg just like a normal one. And creative and spectator players won't be detected or noticed by the trial spawners. So if you want to watch a load of people, you won't affect the level of it just by being there in creative mode or survival mode, which is quite nice. Now, these trial spawners exist in the trial chambers. And the trial chambers are basically a brand new dungeon, which have got a whole bunch of different rooms They're made out of the copper and deep slate things, all of those new blocks. And they've got 2 different types of chests. They've got supply chests, which can be found in different rooms and give you blocks and items which help you navigate the trials. And they've also got reward chests. So those are guarded by the challenges in each room. They say there can be a source of many high-level enchanted books and equipment, but the reward chest loot is still being iterated. It's not final. And that could have something to do with new things that we haven't yet seen being announced, because... Or it could just be that they don't know what to put in them yet.
Yeah.
So these trial chambers, each one of these is going to have potentially 3 different spawners. And those 3 different spawners are going to be split into categories. You'll get a melee one, which could consist of zombies, husks, or slime. You'll have a small melee one, which will consist of a spider, a cave spider, a baby zombie, or a silverfish. And a ranged spawner, which will consist of skeletons, strays, or skeletons with poison-tipped arrows. You will never get, in one room, 2 things from one category. So you won't ever get zombies and husks together. You will get zombies or husks or slimes. You will get spiders or cave spiders or baby zombies or silverfish. You will get skeletons or strays or skeletons with poison-tipped arrows. So what they're saying is, one trial chamber might only spawn zombies, cave spiders, and strays, because that's from the 3 different sections, and it will be random. And the exceptions to this are some trial spawners in unique rooms will always spawn breezes. Oh, so maybe a breeze spawner is completely different then. I thought they were part of those, but okay. So that's interesting. It turns out it's nothing to do with those blocks on the floor that changed them, which is a shame, because we thought we'd be able to...
Yeah, that kind of took the wind out of my sails for that. That made me really lose interest in these.
Yeah, but then there's still going to be, we've never had a husk farm. We've never had, this is a new slime spawner?
But
slime farm?
Unless you update the husks drop to include something new, it's worthless.
I mean, it's new. It is new.
It's a worthless drop from a worthless mob. Have it drop a chance of sand.
Yeah, well, yeah. But the fact is, if these 3 things exist in a close space in a trial chamber, and they're close enough to all load at once, you're guaranteed to get 3 different types of mobs. So that's good. I think it's still good.
Okay, it'd still be good if the rewards from the trial are worth it, but doing it for the mob drops is going to be pointless.
Not necessarily. XP. People still want skeleton farms.
They're going to be on a cooldown.
If you got skeleton and spiders and slime, that's perfect. You're getting slime, string, and bones. That's great. I'd love a slime, string, and bone farm in one place.
It depends on the amount of cooldown. Okay, so if it's like a 10-minute cooldown, I mean...
Well,
I think the real benefit is going to come from what the trial chambers spawner drops you, not what the mobs drop.
I don't know if it mentions how long the cooldown is. Let me just have a quick flick through. Silence. Sorry, no. I can't say anything to do with how long. No. Oh, the trial spawner goes in cooldown for 30 minutes. Wow, okay, half an hour.
So for mob drops, it's not going to be worthwhile. Now, yeah, this is my opinion. Yeah,
the peddling this is not a mob farm, effectively, but it early game mob farm maybe.
Early game mob farm potentially, but I think the real benefit from what you're going to get out of these is what the trial chambers spawner drops, because we've seen in the video that it could be a source of renewable diamonds and everything else. So
hold that thought.
Oh, they changed it, huh?
Okay. Wow. There's a new item called the Trial Key. It's an item that can only be obtained from trial spawners, and trial keys do not currently have any functionality, so we don't know what they do. But the picture they showed on the post when they did this was a trial key on top of one of the spawners. So we know, or at least we think we know, that the loot from the trial spawners is going to be a trial key. That doesn't mean that it's only going to be that and there's no emeralds or diamonds in there, but I think that's what it's going to be. I think once you've finished, you will get a trial key, and that trial key will unlock something. People are saying the deep dark portal. I'm not convinced. There is a little skeleton's head on the top of it, which is the same you get on the side of a monster cage or a monster spawner cage. So I think that might be a way to unlock another trial rather than wait for the cooldown. Or maybe
I think it's going to be you have to use the key to unlock the loot that you're supposed to get out of the trial chamber.
Maybe, yeah, maybe a loot chest, a little bit like Minecraft dungeons. You know, when you finish the little mob rooms, the chest just appears, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's going to be a thing. Maybe the chest appears once you finish the case, and you need to use a trial key on it. In which case, what's the point? What's the point in giving you a key to give you to a chest that's going to be right there? I don't know. And how does that work if you've got multiple players? Because the trial rooms, the trial chambers are supposed to work for multiple players, and they said the loot that you get from that will be increased depending on the number of players. And if it's just going to give one key, how does that work?
I don't know.
Someone in our live chat says, the mic says, the key respawns when the 30 minutes is up, so you know it's ready to go again. That's not, that could be the case. It might not be automatically going again. It might be the key to start the next trial.
So if that's the case, then it's going to be a lot harder to AFK the thing.
Yeah. But by the sounds of things, from what you've said and reading through this today, it does sound very much like they're making this not a mob farm thing. They're purely designed to be a fun thing to do with yourself or your friends. It sounds very much like they're not trying to make this a mob farm.
It sounds like it, but then again, people can automate a lot of things, set your player up to go around and collect the keys every 30 minutes with like a minecart track, and then you're holding the key and you auto right click as you go to the different things.
Yeah,
people are going to farm it.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's always ways to do it. I would be surprised if they pushed away, like really heavily pushed away from farming these things, because I know they do like to give us more opportunities, but they might be considering that's too much in a small area to give us. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
I'm genuinely excited to find out what this key does. I haven't been excited about something vanilla updates for ages, but I really want to know what it does. I hope it's not something really boring. I really hope it's something exciting. I really hope there's an area you can't get into without this key, or if there's some sort of chest, lockable chests. How cool would that be?
It would be cool, but it defeats the whole purpose of a chest, because people can break them with an axe or anything else. I'm telling you, that key is going to have to be interactable.
Inventory.
The key is going to have to be tied to the loot reward. Like, okay, you completed the thing, it spits out a key, you grab the key, you right click it on the spawner thing in the trial thing, and then it spits out its loot.
Yeah, but what's the point in giving you the key?
How are they going to interact the key with Minecraft at all? We've got pickaxes, we got everything else. That means they would have to put like an adventure mode or unbreakable things.
What if copper doors were lockable with the key?
Yeah, no way. They won't do it. They won't do it.
I would like that if it because it'd have to remember which player locked it, right? Because obviously anyone could get a copper key and go and unlock your doors. But if that was the case, this is all peddled around multiplayer. Don't forget, this is all pushed around combat and tinkering multiplayer. Yeah?
Yeah.
If multiplayer is like land claiming stuff, if there was a way to lock your house door to stop other people going in, obviously I can mine blocks, but you've got to, you know what I mean? I just think that would be fun if they made it so you could lock your front door and no one else could go in.
I don't think it's going to be an exciting feature. I mean, I don't think we're going to get something to the degree that you want. I think it's going to be pretty basic. I don't know.
When they throw stuff in like this, when they throw in something that say there's no functionality, like the deep dark portal
or silverfish,
it says currently. We do not currently have any functionality, which means they're planning something. And they said the same thing for the deep dark portal. It just makes me excited to think what's coming.
It's funny. It depends on the week. One week you're the optimist, and the next week I'm the optimist, and this week I'm just like,
I just like not knowing. I hate. Right. Okay. So birthdays and Christmas, absolutely hate surprises. I hate surprises because when you get surprises, you have to pretend that you liked it, and you never do, because when you get surprised, no one really knows what to get you. And I can't remember ever being genuinely positively surprised to the extent where it needed oh wow, thanks so much, I really needed one of those, because it's always something you don't need. It's always something you don't really need. You wouldn't buy yourself, And unless it's like, hey, I got you tickets to this show, or I got you, a reservation at this restaurant, or I got you this thing that I knew you were interested in. Like, you give someone a list and they surprise you off the list, great. But that's when you just get a just out of the blue surprise.
I'll tell you what I would
much prefer to know what I'm getting when it comes to birthdays and Christmas, because
I'll tell you what I would really like with this key.
Thankful for the thing.
Right now, this key, I don't like it, and I don't like the trial chambers because they told us exactly what's there. Now,
I like the key. I like the trial chambers. I can't wait to play in them. I think it's going to be so different from Minecraft. It's the one thing in vanilla that I think is going to be interesting for 5 minutes. Sorry.
What if the key, when you use the key on the trial chamber spawner, made it repick the mob? Change the blocks around it. So suddenly it was a zombie and it switched to a slime. I don't
think so. Maybe.
I'm telling you, it's only going to be used to unlock the loot that the trial chamber gives you.
Maybe. We don't know. But there is fun in speculating, and I can't wait to find out. Right, the final piece of news is that Minecraft have now released an official Minecraft server list, and this is thanks to me as John, who posted this in the Discord to let us know. Basically, they've made a website which is apparently for Bedrock and Java Edition that shows you all of the servers that you can join. And these are not official Minecraft servers, but it's the official server list. So basically, any servers on this have had to go through some sort of approval with Minecraft in order to get on this list. Interestingly, if this is for Bedrock Edition as well, most Bedrock Edition platforms can't actually add custom servers. And all of these things for me on here on Windows say copy IP. Now, this is Java. Oh, no, there we go. Click to copy Bedrock address. Click. So there's 3 Java ones there and 1 Bedrock one, which is Lifeboat, which is in the featured servers anyway.
Sorry, consoles. You all can't, no.
So my thoughts and feelings on this, I know you don't really like it. We'll get to that in a minute. I think this is a good thing for them to do. I think servers, we've seen news over the last few weeks and months just flying about there on the internet that not many people are playing servers compared to how they used to. And that was always been a good sort of gauge of how popular Minecraft is. Like at its peak, Hypixel had hundreds of thousands of people. Whenever you logged on, there was hundreds of thousands of people. And then it went down before COVID to like there was 500 people online or something like that. So it's always been a good gauge of how many people are interested. And when COVID hit, it went right back up again. I would assume we're at a point where it's quite low. And I think this is a good way for Minecraft to be going, hey, there's lots of ways to play Minecraft. You don't just have to play this. You don't just have to play that. Come and join these servers. And these servers are safe because we've been through and we know these are safe, right? That's what this is all about. This is about offering people the ability to play online with other players in a safe way. There may also be money exchanging hands. I don't know. No idea. But I would imagine this is kind of like the marketplace where they have to go through stringent rules in order to get promoted onto this list, which is going to be a benefit to the server owners, and it's also going to be a benefit for the players because they know that their kids can play on these things and not have to worry about stuff. Now, you don't like it.
No, I really don't like it. For one, let's talk Bedrock here, okay? You're including Bedrock servers in here. So you're putting up a list of approved servers that are safe and everything like that, yet you still block consoles and PlayStations, everything from connecting to third-party servers. So you're excluding a big part of your, in quotation mark, better together community right out the gate. And so you're literally limiting it to PC players or phone players or something like that. Sure, we all know there's sketchy ways to go about getting onto servers from those consoles and stuff like that, but you're not even doing it. So the server list inside for consoles and stuff like that is still going to be limited to the partnered servers, which you know as well as I do, money exchanges hands to be on that partnered servers list. And you're just cutting a big chunk of your community. And then with all the stuff that they've done here lately with Minecraft, with limiting You can't do this, you can't do that. We're enforcing this, we're enforcing that. It to me, it just feels like a slap in the face. But then again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Some people may think it's great, some people may think it's good. I personally don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's putting themselves on a level of accountability that is going to require more people at Mojang to monitor this, or at least subcontractors to monitor this or something. Because you're wanting to, like, if we look at one of these servers, it's got a community basics badge, builder's benchmark, alpha support, or whatever. Okay. So you're saying that these servers are safe to play on. But what if, like, you know as well as I do, some people get in and out of the game. Suddenly you're admins, you got less admins, you got less moderators, and then something inappropriate happens on one of these servers. With Minecraft officially the official server list, are they going to have some accountability to this, or are they going to pass the buck to somebody else? You know, I don't know.
I'm sure there's a whole page of terms and conditions somewhere. But the thing is, right, I'm on the Bedrock page now. That's a bunch of servers I didn't know existed for Bedrock Edition. There's a whole lot of them there. And what this is also supporting, which is really nice to see, is crossplay servers. So there's Java/Bedrock crossplay servers where you can play on both, which is really nice, that are endorsed by Minecraft, endorsed by Mojang, which means that they are pushing towards crossplay.
Okay, so they
look at all those crossplay servers. There's loads of them.
Why not just put these inside of Minecraft? Why do we have to use an external site to see the servers?
Because then they can keep it at arm's length, I guess, and they can remove it from that a lot easier than they can the one in your game, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Look, for me as a parent of kids that are trying to get online and play stuff all the time, to know that this exists, I could say to Oliver, yeah, you can play them, no problem. I don't have to go in and check. I don't have to keep my eye on his iPad all the time checking the chat, because like I do on Roblox, if I give him half an hour on Roblox, I see stuff going on in the chat, even though I've got him on all the restricted stuff. And it's awful what's happening in there. So I have to keep my eye on it constantly. On this, I feel, because it's the official server list of Minecraft and they've said official, I feel like I can trust them. Because they've always been pretty trustworthy when it comes to this sort of thing.
I think something funny here. I just literally brought up the category for Bedrock servers, and I look at one, and I go to copy IP address, and I go to the world info. It's like, yeah, copy for Java.
Which one was that?
Just one of the first top ones.
All of them copy Java. Yeah, Bedrock. Copy Java, copy Java. Maybe that's just an error on the thing. But yeah, all of those say copy Java. Oh, they've had none of those say copy Bedrock, do they? Jeez. Maybe they're all the crossplay ones then. I don't know. I really don't know. But
no, because like if you sort it by player count from high to lowest, you get CubeCraft up there at the top, and it's copy Bedrock address. Yeah.
Oh, really? Huh. Oh, well, you know, it's new. It's new.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is one of those things that we should just keep our eye on and see how it goes. I don't think hardly anyone's going to use it. And you can see by the number of people that are giving it likes and actually on there. I really don't think it's going to be a big game changer for Minecraft.
No, it just feels weird. That's what I don't like about it. And I find this kind of hilarious too. You figured they would try to endorse more like realms versus pointing people to external servers. So maybe. What are they going to start? Hey, you want an official sponsored Minecraft server? Go over here and you can buy one. It feels like a money ploy to me. That's what it really feels like.
I don't know, because you don't know if they're getting money for this. You have no idea.
No, I'm not saying yeah. I'm saying in the future. Okay, so if we can redirect people over here to the official Minecraft server list, why don't we just add a place in where you can go pick up an official Minecraft server? Sponsors.
Do you know what this makes me excited for?
Okay, what's up?
Right. I said to you, was it in the last podcast or a couple of podcasts ago, I really wish Mojang would buy some of these mods and officially support them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so play and create. At the moment, maybe this will change in the future, but let me start again. Whenever I've played mod packs before, you play the mod pack for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then you've got the urge to play vanilla Minecraft again because it's so unbalanced, it's so out of whack. It's fun. you've immediately, like after a couple of days, you've already got everything you could possibly want. There's too many things in the mod. It's really confusing. And you just think, I just want the simplicity of vanilla. I want that challenge, right? But playing these mods, it's so balanced. It's so much more of the game I wanted from Minecraft that at the moment, I can't imagine ever going back to vanilla. I'm sure I will. But at the moment, the thought of playing vanilla, I just think, no, I don't want to do that. What all that grind I've got to go through to do all of the basicest things. I can't build half of the stuff that I can do in this. This is amazing. But what's unfortunate is, and I know there's some amazing things coming for Create. There's some really amazing things coming. The developers of some of these mods have been putting out these videos and doing podcasts and stuff about what's coming, and it looks incredible. But when you listen to these podcasts, the people developing them at school, you know, one of the guys on the biggest thing to come to Create that's on its way, and people have been expecting it for ages, called Create Sim or Create Aeronautics. He's like, oh, I've had to take some time out from developing it because I got a load of homework. Great. But there's a problem there. There's a big problem there. These guys are obviously really, really smart and really good. But that kid's going to finish school and go to college, and his likes and his ideas are going to change, and he's going to get a job, and he's going to get a family. He's not going to be doing this. And this is apparent in a lot of things. There's a lot of mods that exist for certain versions of Minecraft, but then just stop. And you can really, really enjoy that mod, and you can have it as part of your world, and it can be a really good mod. But if the developers decide they're not going to do it anymore because they've finished school, or they've got too much homework, or they've got, you know, the mum says they've got to go to bed early, or whatever reason, then you can't update your world anymore. You're stuck with that version. So for Minecraft, if Mojang was like, okay, this is really, really popular, like these servers, let's endorse some of these and make sure they've gone through a process where we know they're going to get looked after, we know they're going to get supported, we know they've got the right people involved in doing it. If they could do that with mods as well, and this is a stepping stone to that in my eyes, they could do that with mods and go, yeah, these people really like these. These are really good. Let's have an official mod list of Minecraft and make sure that these are ones that are going to get continued updates. And they could even have some sort of fund where they help out, and they're like, okay, yeah, these are really popular, so we're going to put some money into these. I think that'd be amazing for the community.
We'll see where it goes.
And then offer them as DLC directly from the Minecraft launcher. Hey, do you want to play Create? $1.99. In fact, if it was 10 quid, I'd be like, yeah, I'll have that. Thank you. Why not?
We'll see. I don't see it going that far, but we'll see. It could.
Well, maybe it won't, but I would love that. I would absolutely love that. To go in, we're not having to download CurseForge and try and worry about what mods in my list and whether or not it's there, or download multi-MC. If I could just go from the Minecraft launcher, okay, I want to play this version of Minecraft with these mods enabled that are all supported. Tick, play. Okay, that's £5 worth of mods you've ticked on. You own those now for that version of the game. Great, let me in. I'm all over it. I would pay for that. And I know kids would pay for that. I know Oliver would pay for that. The amount of money, his pocket money he spends on gems in games. Dad, can I have £20? £20? What for? I need 499 gems for the next level of this game. Oh, it's your pocket money. You've earned it. You've got it for your birthday or whatever. Yeah, you can, but do you really want to waste it? 10 minutes later, I've spent all my gems.
Yeah. Dad, can I have $20 more?
Yeah, no, you cannot.
Oh, look, Dad's credit card's sitting on his desk.
Yeah. Well, the point is, if it was officially supported, then you feel it's got weight to it, and you would like you do with DLC in games. DLC wouldn't exist if it wasn't popular. The fact that it's popular, people pay for it, means it exists. It means it gets time and resources put into it. Minecraft needs another income stream to keep developing at the pace that it has been for all these years, and we're already seeing that slow down. I would be more than happy to put money into that. I'd much rather pay for that as a subscription than I would for Realms, you know? Hey, you pay us $5 a month, you can play Create. Yep, okay. As long as they don't put microtransactions in it.
Oh no, microtransactions got to be hand in hand with that. Hello, phone. What?
Yeah, I just want to apologize for anybody watching this podcast on YouTube. Slack, you've been a green blob for about half an hour now. I do apologize.
Discord has been changing over the last 2 weeks. The way that their streaming works. I think they're about to try to implement something new with that. So you know how OBS has dynamic bitrate and stuff like that? Yeah, I think they're changing that.
No, well, fingers crossed it'll get better rather than worse. Oh, you've popped back in. This is good news.
Yeah, because I quit moving. Because it works just like, still. It works just like streaming on my phone used to work. As long as you don't move, everything's fine. But if I go, see, look, there it goes glitching out again.
Oh, jeez. Don't move. Stay still.
No. You don't tell me what to do. My name is SlackLizard. I mean, what?
Well, from buggy cameras to the Bugdate Slack. Have you got any bugs?
No, not really this week, no.
Okay, do you want to start us off with the community bugs then?
Okay, so we're going to start off with the big blue frog here. And it says, Bedrock 1.20.40 update has completely broken Minecraft on my iPad running iOS 16.7.2. I've updated my OS, removed all third-party resource packs and behavior packs, and it's still crashing, followed up by a bug report. Oof.
Okay, let's see. Show the bug report. Bedrock 1.20.40 crashes before the splash screen of iOS. It has been updated to 1.20.41 now, so hopefully that fixes things, but that does suck. And it is unconfirmed, so maybe it's your iPad, bro.
Maybe.
Okay. Dragoon. A name I haven't seen in a long time. Dragoon is here saying, hi, Foxy and Slack. Just updated to 1.20.40 with Foxy's version switcher. Great tool, by the way. Loading in the Foxy's VIP server and noticed no movement sound. Looks like sound is really messed up. I have music right down to 1 and had to turn up my master volume right up just to get my own footsteps. Music's always been way too loud, but this is just silly. Oof. Yeah. Well, they have been fiddling with, like, goat horns, I guess, so maybe they tied the music sounds into the goat horns. Speaking of, there's and the backpack mod that I got on Create. Occasionally, because I have music off because I'm recording, but I'll be working in an area and I can hear music. And the first time it happened, it really threw me. I'm looking at my music settings and everything. What's going on? And turns out that some of the backpacks can have like a jukebox mod added into it, like an upgrade. And you get mobs just spawning in the world, not very regularly, but sometimes wearing a backpack with a random like upgrades in it and random items. And sometimes they're playing music. So you can often hear, it's happened half a dozen times now. I'll just hear through a wall or like, oh, there's a skeleton or a creeper or something about wearing a backpack. And then I'm going hunting through walls and stuff, trying to find it just to shut it up.
Oh, so, that's great. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, right. The last bug, please, Slack.
The Praetor says, bit of a weird outliner bug, but I found that snow golem snowball projectiles are quite large, about the same size as a gas fireball. This doesn't affect the behavior of it, but it looks rather odd.
Now, they fiddled with them a while ago, didn't they, to make them, instead of coming out from above the player's head, actually coming out from the player's face point, so they do look massive as they're coming out. I haven't noticed from a distance whether they look any bigger. Well, I noticed they do look bigger.
I've noticed a few people playing on TB Winter because there's a lot of snow there. The snowballs are like, when somebody's holding one in their hand, half the size of their arm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, good talk with the texture being broke there.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you think you've found a bug, then please let us know by joining the Discord or filling out our feedback form on the website. It is time for our tip of the week, and the tip of the week this week is from Man with a Plan, who says, if you make a 3x3 platform above your head, you can slice at Endermen and look at them, but they can't get you. This is helpful in the end. It is. Do you have a live tip of the week this week, Slack?
If somebody's birthday's coming up and you forgot about it, make sure to set reminders about it in the future.
Yeah, every time I notice it's someone's birthday, like it gets shouted out in TB Discord or something like that from one of the creators or like people that are in my VIP list. I add it to my birthdays app because I'm terrible at birthdays. Jeez. Okay, right. It's time for our week in Minecraft, where we discuss all of the things that we've been doing in Minecraft this week, talking you through the lengthy process, block by block, of what we've built. Don't we, Slack?
No, that's definitely not how it goes at all. Because there's not enough time in the day for that.
No. What was the first block you placed? Talk me through, one at a time.
Mm. A crafting table. Because any good build has to begin with a crafting table.
Yeah, I agree. And then you end up with 4 million of them back in your storage system after you finish the build.
Yep.
Because you craft a new one every single time.
Look, the basics of any build that you're about to start, you need to put down at least 3 things. You need to put down a crafting table, an ender chest, and a dump chest.
Yeah, dump chest. 100% dump chest. Every single, and most of the time, multiple dump chests.
Oh yeah. One is just not going to cut it. You're going to need like 30 before it's all said and done. Yeah,
and that gets worse with modded because you're constantly crafting all of these new blocks that you're going to be building with. Oh, I'll try that one. And you just end up with this ridiculous amount of like random stuff, and you just need chest upon chest upon chest to store it all. Jeez. Okay, so what you been up to in Minecraft this week, Slack?
Well, that's just building farms without the pressure of recording SMP content. Like yesterday on my seasonal based Slackville world, decided that I wanted to just build out of the blue a fish farm just to get some bones, and didn't even care what it looked like, to be honest with you. Built it out of cobblestone, netherrack, stone, just enjoying the game without recording SME content and only recording tutorials and spending other free energy on other projects. It's been nice just to play the game in general. Yeah. Like before, I would always worry about, I can't do this on stream because I'm actually working on this episode. But if I do this, then I'm not going to have, I'm going to break my workflow continuity with this, and then I'm going to get sidetracked with this project and this project. But without recording this stuff right now, it's like, hey, if I want to go build a fish farm today, I'm going to go build a fish farm. And if 20 minutes into it I decide, hey, I want to go build trees, guess what? I can just go build trees. So that's what I've been doing. It's just back to basics, having fun, enjoying the game once again. Yeah,
good. Okay, so your tree farm then, is that not tree farm, your fish farm, is it the magma block fish farm?
Oh yeah yeah, just chose a random chunk above waters near the iron farm and stuff like that, and just quickly made a box. And I forgot that minecarts work underwater in Bedrock Edition, so that makes it even easier. So just set up a few hoppers at the end of it, set up some powered rails, left it flooded. I built the whole thing in one stream. Nice. Collection system and all. While before, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And then spent another hour on stream just building a cabin for no other reason than because I could. Yep.
Nice. Okay, good. Well, in my couple of weeks, I've built a whole bunch of stuff. Do you know what? I've never built so many things in Minecraft, Slack. I'm really enjoying building. I'm still not 100% confident with interiors, but I have done a couple of interiors this week, and I'm actually quite happy with them. But interiors is funny. You get a lot of people commenting going, add this decoration mod and add that decoration mod so you can have tables and chairs and plates and cups. And I don't want to, because that feels a bit like cheating, doesn't it?
Says the person playing modded Minecraft who's using all kinds of things, but we can't have tables and chairs.
No, I know. And it's just because it's been ingrained into me for the last longer than 10 years of playing Minecraft that there is you make chairs out of stairs and you make tables out of upside down stairs and whatnot. It just feels wrong to do that. And it also feels like one of the reasons is that I want to learn to do interiors. And I think if I've got the easy option, I won't learn, right? Yeah. I will just throw down all of these. There you go, table and chairs done. There's some plates and pots on it. It looks great. Fantastic. No, I want to learn how to make... I want to be able to take what I'm learning in this and then go back to vanilla eventually and use that. I don't want to go back to vanilla and go, I can't build anymore because I haven't got my framed blocks and I haven't got this and I haven't got those. I want to be able to... This is to me is like having a confidence boost to be able to do things I couldn't do before, learn how to do them more successfully, and then bring that back to something else. So I'm really getting in the swing of things with my builds. I've been watching a lot of other YouTubers, and maybe I'm weird on this, but I watch people that will just throw all sorts of crazy block variants together in textures, and you look at it, and I'm just thinking, this looks like noise. And it tends to be younger people. They'll throw all sorts of things together and then go, oh, that looks amazing. And I just think, no, you've just put loads of random stuff together and it just looks like noise to me. But then you see other people commenting going, wow, that's amazing. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Like there'll be a house with 15 different colors in it, and each different color will have 10 different variations of that block that don't really go. And when I'm building, I'm like, okay, I want varied blocks to make it look more interesting, but I also want structure and I want it to look like the thing that I'm trying to build at the end of it rather than just this mountain of mess. So I guess I'm probably not pushing my boundaries too much, but I feel confident that if I want to build a house now, I can build a house. If I want to build this, I can build that. But it's the interiors that I'm still sort of struggling with, and I'm trying really hard. So in my little hotel that I built, it's got no interior at all, hardly. So I thought, right, I need an enchanting room. How can I make that interesting? And I know it sounds stupid because it's a hotel room, but I decided to make it like an enchanted forest. So I surrounded it with vines and bushes and stuff and made it really green, and I made the floor out of like moss and dirt blocks and things like that. And I thought it looked really cool afterwards. I was really happy with it. And I thought, yeah, there's not really that much going on in there, but it looks full, it looks busy, and it looks interesting. And people seem to like it. And then so I built a gondola station, or basically a ski lift thing with all these gondola cars running around. And it's a big station. It needs to be big because the stuff inside it I couldn't make any smaller. So it had this huge area downstairs that I needed to turn into like a reception area and somewhere for people to sit down, and then entrances and exits and locker rooms. And I spent ages fiddling with it, but I managed to get the locker rooms and little benches all set up and a little ticket office nice and a little seating area. And again, it wasn't anything fancy. It wasn't block spam like a lot of people do, just all the blocks in every place. But it was neat and it's tidy and it looked like what it was supposed to look like. So I was happy with it. So I'm getting there.
That's good.
And in the video I started recording this morning, which will hopefully be out this weekend, I decided to... So I built some factories. My idea is I'm going to have 3 big old factories next to each other and all going to be joined together. And I want something to take items around from one factory to the next so it can be processed in that. And I don't want to just use conveyor belts or hoppers or anything like that. So I decided to use trains, but I don't want it to be a train because it's a factory. So what I've done is I buried the train track underground. And because these create trains, the actual body of the train can go through blocks. I've been able to like create a forklift truck on the top. So it looks like it's driving around. And you can put a little driver in it, it goes round. So it's this forklift truck, it's got a crate on the front and it's got an interface so it can interface with these item collection things. And then it's just running around on the track underneath, going from one bit to the other. And it looks amazing. And I was like trying to make it as small as possible. And these framed blocks just make that really easy. Well, make it easier because they're just, you can have like vertical slabs and squares and edges and things like that. But they don't allow you to do everything. But I was really happy with it in the end, and it looks great. The wheels don't turn, so it just looks like it's sliding about a bit. But I was really, it's really good fun. And I couldn't. The thing is, I would never be able to do that in Minecraft. Not only if I built a forklift truck in Minecraft, it'd have to be literally 3 times the size to get the detail on it, so it would just look unrealistic. But also, it'll never move. It'd never go anywhere.
Nope, not going to move.
Yeah. So, yeah, my week. In terms of producing Minecraft videos, obviously I've been really stressing about trying to squeeze in all of this stuff and the editing into like, so I'm trying to release on a Wednesday and a Sunday, and the Sunday to Wednesday, so you're recording Monday and Tuesday, editing Wednesday morning and trying to get your video out for lunchtime. And then you've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but then you've got like kids and family and stuff like that going on, trying to get the video out for Sunday. So not the video that came out today, is recording this on a Wednesday, but the video that came out last, I thought, right, I'm gonna do a bit of an experiment. I'm gonna do loads of things. I'm gonna make a big list of things to do that are not massive jobs, but big jobs, and I'm gonna compress that all with really hyper fast like editing, loads of montages and bits like that, quick montages, and compress all of that into a normal length video and see how that does. Because a lot of people producing videos these days, it's all bang, 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 really fast, keep people's attention. But for me, I hated it. I watched it back and it goes quickly. Like, you know, when you're sitting and watching a video and it can be a 20-minute long video and you're looking at your watch 5 minutes in going, wow, it feels like it's already been 20 minutes. And on other times you can get to the end and you think, oh, I've only been watching 5 minutes.
Yep.
it went fast. I was watching it back, and it felt like it was 5-10 minutes long rather than half an hour or whatever it was, which is a good thing. But I didn't like it. So this one that came out today, I was like, right, I'm going to go completely opposite. I'm going to talk my way through everything, do a couple of time lapses, but pretty much focus on one thing. And I asked in that video in the comments, hey, look, if you've seen my last video, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer bang, 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 fast editing, or do you prefer me focusing on one thing, talking through it? And I haven't had a single comment saying I prefer the fast one. I've had a couple saying somewhere in between, but most of them are, we like it like this. So the good thing about focusing on one thing, when you're not trying to do absolutely everything and cram it into one video, is it doesn't take you as long to record. And it doesn't take you as long to edit. The editing on that fast one was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Now, I haven't watched your last one, but now you got me curious, because the thing with your Create series that seems to be the thing that's drawing the attention in and keeping people there is the fact that it is bang, 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 fast. Everything's fast-paced.
The one before the one that came out today was that taken up to 11. So it was, I don't think there were any clips of me talking for more than 5 seconds. It was, right, now I'm going to do this, bang, 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 montage. Right, now I'm going to do this, montage, right? Like, I needed to go to the Nether and get 12 wither skeleton skulls. Montage. I needed to fight. I think actually the longest bit was I fought 4 withers, which, by the way, in Java Edition are just ridiculously easy.
Oh, they're easy. Yeah.
I needed like 2 golden apples, and that was it. I did that in real time, because literally one wither fight lasted about 15-20 seconds. It was crazy. But yeah, other than that, it was just loads of montages, talking fast as well. I made an effort to actually talk faster in it as well to see if that would help. It didn't. It didn't make any difference. In terms of watch time, in terms of views, it really didn't seem to make a great deal of difference. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. Like I said to you earlier, the last couple of videos, while everything has been 1 out of 10 so far, this one and the one before have not been. But the one that I released today is 4 out of 10, and the one before that was 3. So it looks like I'm on a sort of leveling out thing anyway. So yeah, we'll see.
Just take time to see. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my week in Minecraft. Okay, Slack, it is now time for the wish list. Can you start me off with our first wish?
We got EyeoftheNyte here. Says the ability to apply the texture of any door or trap door type to any wood, so that you can have a bamboo style door with cherry wood or spruce, etc. Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd really like? And this is just not just vanilla, but modded as well. I would like, there's no blocks that are like a wooden grill or wooden slat or wooden, a bit like iron bars, but more horizontal. Yep. I want that. I want it to see through it a little bit like you can with some trap doors, but I want it like bar at the top and slats across wood of the different types, but it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we talked about this before. Like, we got the stone cutter. Why not a wood cutter, a saw table, or something like that? And you could put in like the raw wood and be like, I want this style of trapdoor out of it.
Yep. Why not? Why are we limited?
Not? Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah. Jade Vixen. Yeah, that's all right. Excuse me. Jade Vixen says, I wish the new cartridge. Why don't you speak properly, Jade? Jeez. Doesn't say that at all.
No.
I wish the new cartographer sold maps for nether points of interest. I struggle finding fortresses, and since the only one bastion has the netherite template, I need those maps more than an ancient monument or village I can find myself easily. Yeah, this whole the netherite upgrade template is only in one type of bastion is so stupid.
I agree.
It is so dumb. Yes, they want it to be late game, but why that late? It's so stupid. No, you made it hard enough, costing us all them diamonds to replicate it and having to get the ancient debris. No, it's dumb. It's so dumb. And you're right. Why isn't there a nether equivalent of a cartographer piglin that you can get maps for and find your way around? You know why compasses don't work in the nether?
Near the maps.
Exactly. But it would be nice.
They need to fix that. Yeah,
they do. Yeah, I think some point of interest system for the Nether is a good idea, realistically.
Yep. Same for the end.
You are like, yeah, definitely. You are like, I know that's supposed to be end. Okay, Nether's middle game, end is end game. It's supposed to be hard to find those things. It's supposed to be a struggle. But you're kind of alienating a lot of people doing that. You're going, hey, we've got this really cool game. But if you want to progress in it, you're going to have to do things that you're maybe not capable of doing. You might be too young. You might be too not really into gaming. You might find it difficult. Oh, well, we'll put it on easy. Well, that doesn't help you in lava really all that much. Or put it on peaceful. It doesn't really help you again. It's the problem is getting around the Nether. It's not an easy place to navigate.
You know what would be nice is if we had the equivalent of Eye of Enders for the Nether. Like something that you could throw that would indicate which way a fortress is or a bastion is or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to put it in good ideas bin, Jade, only because it wasn't exactly right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
something
we can
like
agree
that
something needs work. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Praetor is up next and says, I think a good idea to add for enchantments would be something like a vein miner, where you can harvest multiple blocks at once, but taking up a higher amount of durability, anything to get through deep slate better. I agree.
Vein miner is my best friend. I couldn't live without vein miner at this point. Trees.
I know.
Trees.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've been experimenting with a lot of Bedrock add-ons in my off time of streaming and stuff like that. And I found one the other day, a vein miner for trees and one for ores. I love it. Yeah.
Being able to chop down a tree. I don't mind small trees, small spruce trees, small birch trees, small oak trees, fine. You get a bit of efficiency on your axe on Bedrock Edition, at least. Doesn't work on Java, but you do on Bedrock, and you can get rid of it. When you got those giant trees, especially giant oak, they're just such a nightmare. Vein mine is great. It's also great for gathering like leaves quickly rather than having to just like try and stand on a tree and mine all the things before you spleef yourself through the floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give us the enchantment. Let it be an optional thing. An enchantment. Yep.
And there's no like, okay, it's saving you time, but it's still costing you durability. It's still costing you hunger. And if it's limited, like I think the vein miner one I got on my mod is it's 50 blocks is the max it'll do in one go.
And that's good. I like it. Yep. Go for it. Mm-hmm.
Even 32. If it did 32, I'd be happy.
Yep.
Okay. Esifer says, give us a full-on block duplicator in survival. Hear me out. There aren't many things at this point that aren't farmable, and even less now we've got the autocrafter. That said, AFK farms might as well be called money burners. Your PC is powered on burning electricity and potentially bandwidth costs. If you're on a server or realm, then it's twice the hardware running for hours so you can build the next big thing. But you can't do anything to speed up the process. You just have to wait for the blazes to spawn, kelp to grow, villagers to restock. You could always go into creative mode, but there's no achievements. And at some point in survival, we should be able to say, we're good enough. Make the duplicator require a bunch of ingredients from all the dimensions. You could even make it require a double chest worth of ingredients you're duplicating to prove you've done the work. After that, though, it just spits out full stacks without having to consume all of your CPU time. You're done wasting money. You just want to build. I'm going to say absolutely not. I'm going to say your argument is flawed. If you're playing on a server or a realm, they are already running 24/7. So you're not, being AFK is not affecting your server at all. And you are making a choice to go AFK at those farms and get ridiculous amounts of items. And I would say to you, how often realistically do you need all of the items you're AFKing for?
No.
That's all about prioritizing. If you was just to collect the items from those farms you actually needed, you wouldn't need to do all that AFK. And there's not many farms that you realistically, unless it's an early game XP farm, that you really need to spend a long time at to get a bunch of resources. So I'm sorry, Esifer, even though you are new top tier patron, there will never be a place for full on duplicating in the main game, I don't think. Now, what I wouldn't mind is something, I haven't got this in my mod pack, but I played it before, but it is I can't remember what they call it, but basically you've got a table, special table, and you put one block in, and each block in the game has a value. And then you can exchange that for another block of a similar value. So let's say wood, logs, for instance, have a value of 1. You put a stack of logs in it, and you've got 64 points. And then you can effectively trade that for any item that's of equivalent or less. I wouldn't mind that, Because that could be a better, okay, well, actually, I want some ancient debris, but I don't want to go mining for it, so I'm going to put down a 9 diamond blocks or whatever it is. Fine. I wouldn't mind that.
If each block had a conversion rate. Yeah, so if I go dig out a big perimeter and I don't want to save nothing, I just put it in there and I earn the points for it. And I can cash those points in for whatever I want. That I would be fine with.
Exactly.
But just a straight up duplicator block?
No, absolutely not.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, the last piece of wish list is from Lothus.
Lothus, yep. I would like an addition to gold and copper bars for decorative purposes. Also, I like the idea to make golden or copper lanterns, but the new copper light block might make that obsolete. But yeah, more use for gold and copper, please.
Yeah. I always used to say no. I like no new blocks and things. No, I've been playing Create with all these amazing blocks, and yeah.
Gold lanterns, copper lanterns, copper bars,
copper, gold bars,
Yeah, I like it. Yep. I'm completely sold on it. Yep. You don't even have to try to convince me. I'm completely sold. Yep.
Do you know what? Do you know what's also missing from?
What's up?
Even modded to a certain extent, a dark metal. We've got iron, blocks of iron, but they're so light. I want a metallic looking block that's a bit darker, right? So in Create, they've got industrial iron, which is a really gorgeous block. It's absolutely beautiful, but it's only comes as a block. So if you're using frame blocks, you can use it on other things to make different shapes and stuff. But if you don't use that mod, you just got Create, you've got this block and it's gorgeous. Yep. Yeah, so in our live chat, Not So Blue Sheep just says netherite is dark. It is. It's not a bad looking block, but you can't get it in enough quantity to make it a viable building material. It also doesn't come in slabs and in stairs and in fences and walls or anything else. It doesn't come in bars. So it's not a viable block.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. So, more uses for the blocks that we have in the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
New workbench, something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like the top of the smithing table. That in a block.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Why can't we decorate these blocks out more with textures? Yep.
I know, right? Jeez. Okay, that's it for the wish list. If you've got a wish and you would like us to grant it and put it into the game, then you can do by joining our Discord and put it in the appropriate channel or filling in our feedback form on the blockupdate.com website. We might not get in, but it might. We've been pretty positive about good ideas lately, I think. There haven't been many that's not been getting in. So there's a strong chance if you was to leave us your wish list idea, then it could end up getting into the game. Right. Good. It's time for questions. We've got a handful of questions here, starting with Diesel. Take us off start us off, Slack, whatever you do.
Diesel says, with TB members taking a break from TB to focus on other channels and the Foxy's recent rising success with the Create series, do either of you think it's possible for several TB members to get together for a modded series like Vault Hunters or other form of modded series in the near future?
Nothing's impossible. No. And TB often does do side quest stuff, and I think quite a lot of TB members now are dabbling in Create, either streaming it or doing little like one-off videos here and there, even shorts.
Yeah.
For me, my perspective is that, and I think a lot of the TB members have agreed that they want to focus on their channel, and it's very difficult to focus on building your channel when you are at the behest of other members, and any sort of online multiplayer SMP thing, you have this pressure to do things in a specific way or play to a certain play style that you might not be suitable for your channel or that you might not want to do. If you're going to build your channel, you need to find something that excites you and gets you rearing to go so that when you sit down at the PC at 7:30 in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, you're already buzzing with ideas and you're ready to go.
Yep.
And it's very difficult to do that with a multiplayer server because there's always a million compromises you're making. Oh, there's the lag, or there's the block lag, or there's this, or there's that. And I kind of like, have you seen the new Secret Life thing? We talked about it a bit last time.
I've seen a few episodes, yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching a few of Mumbo's points of view on that. And by the looks of things, they have a recording session once a week. So they're not just on permanently. They're going, right, whatever day it is, this time of day, we're going to have however many hours we're recording, and then you put your video out on whatever day.
Yep.
And that's quite a nice concept because you've got, you're going to be recording for that specific time slot in the week. It's not going to take up your whole week. You're not just like, oh, that's all I'm doing now and I can't do anything else. And you can edit that in within however long, and it's coming out on that day. And that's a nice system. But doing anything on top of your existing workflow means you're making compromises somewhere else. Like the podcast. I sitting there playing Minecraft today, building these forklift trunks. It's getting to about 5 o'clock, and I'm thinking, whoa, it's podcast. I'm just about to record a time lapse. I can't do that. It's podcast day. I need to take some time off, have something to eat, so I can produce the documents and get everything organized. So, you make a compromise in the thing you're trying to focus on in order to build your channel. And whenever you make a compromise, you're affecting things. So, I mean, obviously I'm going to do it with the podcast because I love the podcast, but I don't really want to add in more and more and more things. So for me personally,
me neither.
if TB got together and said we're doing a Vault Hunters series for 3 weeks, I'd say no, thank you.
Yeah, me too. Right now, no, my plate's too full. No.
Yeah. Danger Kitty /Lucas M says, a while back you were talking about Bedrock content creators and how there isn't one with over 1 million subs, and that only does Bedrock well. That only does Bedrock. Well, guys, there is one and has 10 million subs on YouTube and did weekly uploads until recently. Is Stampy the cat, his lovely world, which is on Bedrock. Something I'd like for you to discuss is him quitting his world after 10 plus years and 800 plus subscribers and deciding to be done. He is in a good place for getting 100 to 200k on normal Minecraft videos, with story ones normally getting 1 million views. He could have kept going this, but decided to stop doing the same thing he's been doing for 10 years. Yeah, I know all about Stampy. Jeez, that's pretty much the reason I make Minecraft videos is down to Stampy. The reason my name is FoxyNoTail is because it rhymes with Foxy Stampy Long Nose. And that's what Jack, my son, was into, which is why I started doing it in the first place. I used to watch all of Stampy's videos and people that he played with. And I even watched his final videos. The second time he's done I'm Finishing My World, and he did it. And I even watched his very long-winded way of saying this is the reason why I'm not doing it anymore. I don't class Stampy as a Bedrock content creator because he built that channel on console, and his reason for quitting, the reason he stopped,
was because of Bedrock.
was because of Bedrock Edition, because it didn't live up to what it used to be like on console. He's for not Java Edition, he's a big advocate. And he also had a lot more subscribers at one point. I think he used to have about 40 to 15 million at one point, but his channel really took a nosedive. And then he stopped doing Lovely World for, I think it was a few years before he started it up again. And then he started it again on Bedrock properly. And it's never been where it was, but people have always tuned in for the specials. But like he said in his video, the people that were watching this when I started, that were kids, and now some of them have got their own kids. So it's a long time to do something for, and to make 800 plus episodes, it doesn't matter how successful they are, how many people are watching, how much money you're making from it. If you don't enjoy the process anymore, and enjoying that creativity, why would you do it? You don't owe anything to anybody. You've made 800 pieces of content for people to watch. You've already given back. You don't owe anyone anything to continue. Yeah. I think he should have stopped a long time ago because he's clearly not been enjoying it.
Yeah, but you're talking about all those subs. Those subs didn't come from Bedrock. They were from console, which was a different version of the game. He built his channel in a different version of Minecraft, trying to say just because he's done some Bedrock stuff that it was Bedrock is not the truth. I mean, find the videos where he rants about Bedrock. They exist.
Go back far enough through his channel and you'll hear him absolutely hate it. Because when console decided that's it, no more console, they offered people a tool to transport their worlds to Bedrock Edition. And he's made videos on doing this and how awful it was. It totally broke his world. It ruined all of the edges. So he carried on with console as long as it could, but it wasn't getting the updates and everybody was tuning out of his channel. Basically, the move from console to Bedrock, it obviously didn't kill his channel because it hurt it. It really hurt it. It took him from going up and up and up and up and up. He was even like on stage at the Minecraft Minecon that I went to in London, and he was in line with Dan TDM, and Dan TDM carried on going because his content could take the change, and Stampy's straight back down again, and he lost like 4 million subscribers in the process. So yeah, and he had such a like his format was impossible to do. It was the same video over and over again. It's the same video, and he was collaborating with people in the video. It all had to be timed perfectly. He couldn't say the wrong word because it was all one take. Every block he placed had to be in the right position. I imagine most of his videos ended up with a bunch of retakes.
Oh, yeah.
And people, like, trying to organize people. You need to be here at this time. Oh, that person's just got kicked out of the world. And me and you know, Slack, how hard is it actually getting people in the same world at the same time? It's not so hard with the server until there's an update. But on a realm or in a single-player world, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, and the fact that he was doing that stuff, a lot of it in the past on console, that made it even 10 times harder.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't blame him for stopping him. I think he should have done it a long time ago, personally. But there we go. Well done, Stampy. And thank you very much for inspiring me to do what you did in order to make my kids happy.
We got Esper up next and says, there has been a few idea suggestions, mine included, that presented some form of infinite lava sources, and you both seem to have some aversion to it. I'm curious as to why. There's already infinite lava. I'm confused.
No, there is a game mode toggle for it in Java now, but they're talking about 3 pieces of lava like you do with water.
No.
Why?
Because now the fact that we got the cauldrons, which produce lava out of nothing, now I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's one of those things a little bit like my aversion to having tables and chairs. We've played for that long with it not being a thing that it feels wrong with it being a thing. But I think if they added it to a game, it really wouldn't make much difference. It would kind of ruin lava farms with the whole dripstone thing, which is a bit of a problem. And it would mean...
Yeah.
But the fact that I think from a gameplay perspective, in order to get a lot of lava, you either need to go exploring to find dripstone, which can be a dangerous thing to do, or you need to go to the Nether and get a lot of it. So I think if you made it so that you could just find one of those little holes in the floor that has got a few buckets worth of lava in it and make an infinite lava source, in fact, that already would be an infinite lava source, you're taking away as an aspect of gameplay by doing that exists. I don't think it would be massively game changing, and I think I don't think it would affect the game that much. So maybe it's not a bad idea, but I don't know. It's just sort of ingrained in me at this point that infinite lava source bad.
No,
to make life on my Create series a million times easier.
No.
Oh. Yeah. Right. Okay. Next question is from Bouncy Ball, who says, what is VSync? What does it do? And where is it? I play on a world with my friend, and every time one of us goes into the Nether, we get extremely laggy. How can I fix this lag? I'm not running any add-ons, only Foxy's Nether Fog Pack, Low Fire Pack, and a Water Fog Pack. VSync doesn't fix lag.
No.
Nothing to do with lag. VSync stands for video sync, and it is synchronizing the frames per second you're getting in your game with the refresh rate of your screen. So if your screen refresh rate is 60 frames per second or 60 hertz, then your game will sync to 60 frames per second, but only if it can reach 60 frames a second. It cannot increase your frames per second. It will only decrease it. There's a couple of good reasons for doing that. One is it reduces screen tearing. Screen tearing occurs when the game is running faster than your refresh rate of your monitor. You'll notice you get lines across your screen as you're turning around, potentially in Minecraft, something like that. And it also saves your hardware resources, because it means your GPU and your CPU are not running as fast in order to process as many frames, because it's only processing the ones it needs. It's in the video options menu. It doesn't fix lag, it doesn't improve lag, but it can reduce screen tearing and improve your performance of your hardware, I guess. It doesn't make any difference. Stops your PC running as hot, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't use it personally. And the reason I don't use it is because when you capped if you're capped at 60 frames per second, your game, or even 120 frames per second, I've got a 144 hertz monitor and I run it 120. If I cap my frame rate at that, it's fine. But if I go back down to 60 and I cap it at that, it will still always drop below. And I'll notice significant lag spikes of it dropping below that.
Yep.
If I don't cap it, it still does that dropping below whatever it's at, but I don't notice it because it's way above 60. So let's say when I'm playing Bedrock in a super flat world, I'm getting 1,000 frames per second. I can notice a 400-500 frames per second drop in a lag spike. But no, I can't notice. It'll happen, but I don't notice. When I'm capped at 60, it will still happen. It will drop down to 30, 20, sometimes 40, and it's noticeable. So that's why I don't use VSync. But and it's not going to fix your lag.
No, won't fix lag at all. I do the same thing with 7 days. Like, I uncap it so I can get up 200 frames a second or something like that. And then if I have a big thing happen on screen, I may drop down to 70 or 80. But if I was using VSync and say I had it capped at 60, then that big thing happened on screen, my frame rate's going to go like to 20. Yeah. And it's going to be horrible. No.
I have both Bedrock and Java now that there's a slider in Bedrock set to 150. So I can basically, I see the game smoothly at 120. Java often drops below like 120 down to 60, 50 sometimes. And playing Create, depending where you're looking, can go down to like 30, 40, and you notice that then. But running at 150 means that when it does do that spike, I don't normally notice. It still stays generally above 120.
No.
Okay. Next one, Slack.
Stitch fixes up next and says, Foxy, how's your day? Since you started Create, you said the game has been rebalanced. Now you're doing less of the grind, more planning and building. Are you more intrigued because there are new farms to make, or are you focused more on building too?
Oh, it's all about the farms. I mean, I'm really enjoying building, but I'm constantly thinking, what can I produce, and how can I produce it differently? And every time I think I've learned it, I learn there's something else I can do. Oh, I can do this. I was watching Mr. Beardstone's video the other day, and he put honey together with lava, and it made limestone. I'm like, what? You can have buckets of honey and put it down like a liquid? Or is it chocolate? And then he did it with chocolate and something else, and it made another block. I'm like, what? So there's like loads of crazy stuff I don't even know about, and every time I learn one, I'm like, right, okay, that's another farm that I can figure something out of. How can I do that? How can I put my spin on it? How can I make it more efficient, less efficient, more me, more the way I want it? And what building can I put it in? Where can I put it in my world? How's it going to fit in? Is it going to be fitting in with what I'm doing in this area of the world and what I'm doing now? So like, I'm already thinking, I know everything I'm going to be doing in this phase, which is probably going to take me another 10 episodes or so. But I'm already going to bed at night thinking, oh yeah, but all of this stuff I'm going to be doing at this one and this one and this one, like episodes down the road, because I've got so many ideas for all the things, and it's all to do with, I'm not mining, I am building, but I have that opportunity to consider a whole bunch of different ways of doing things. And in terms of doing less grind, I would consider I'm doing more grind now, because there's so many more resources to optimize, and inventory management's still a problem, even with all these backpacks and chests and storage vaults and things like that. Inventory management's still a nightmare. I'm still constantly in my inventory organizing blocks and putting things where they need to be, because there's just so many different variations. Like, I'll go out and build something, and I'll maybe turn tough blocks into 5 or 6 different varieties of tub blocks. And then because I really don't have anywhere to put all those things, I go back to the table I made them on, turn them back into normal tough so I can put them away. Yep. So I'm doing a lot of that. And I'm doing a lot of landscaping. Like, I'm spending hours and hours shaping the terrain. I never normally do that. The episode that came out today, I basically flattened a mountain, and, well, not technically, but flattened a huge area and built a huge area up and built train tracks everywhere. So I'm putting hours and hours and hours into building the world in a way I would never normally do in Minecraft, because in normal Minecraft, it's just so tedious. It's so tedious. And I don't have that, wow, what can I do with this? Whereas I know in this, anything I want to do within a reasonable time frame, I can. And I'm still, digging grass with a diamond shovel. I'm still placing grass one block at a time. But I know once I've done it, I can create something amazing. So, or what I think is amazing. Right, the last question. It was a live question, and it's from Lorenzo, and it says, what are the things about Create Mod and or your mod pack that you don't like? What are the things I don't like? Oh, man. I don't like that there aren't always the blocks that I want, even though there's millions of blocks. I don't like the fact that my game crashes quite a lot. I don't like the fact that it encourages you to build these incredible things and then it starts getting really laggy and you can't face a certain direction and can't even run shaders after you've built more than 3 buildings in an area because it runs at 10 frames a second. Man, what don't I like? Do you know what it's missing? Even though it's added so much to the game that is impossible to, you can't even fathom the things that happen in Create Mod. But something that's coming in the future by these developers I was talking about earlier is a way. So basically, you can make trains and you can make contraptions and you can make things that move around. But I want to make a Ferris wheel, for instance, right? I want to make a big wheel. And on that, when you've got a Ferris wheel, the whole thing spins, but the things on there don't stick to it and go round, and then your little pod that you're standing in doesn't go upside down at the top. They stay the same point all the way around, right? You can't do that in Create. You can't have anything moving on a moving contraption. And that's like often a problem. So this forklift truck that I built, I'd really like it if the little tines at the front went up and down. It's not possible. I'd really like to make I'd love to have cars and vans running around the town, like going up and down and like opening the doors and things, but it's not possible. But in this, it's called Create Sim that they're working on, an add-on for Create, where you can have contraptions on contraptions. So all of a sudden, you can have a train that's got a full working whatever on it, and that will just open everything up. So
that'd be pretty cool.
It's not something I necessarily don't like, but even without knowing that was coming, when I'm playing, that's what I'm wanting. Like imagine a fairground. I would love to be able to make a fairground. Another good example of this, the waltzers. We've all been on waltzers, right? You know the waltzers, Slack? The teacups?
No. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they spin round, yeah?
Yep.
While they're going around the track, and that track also goes up and down at the same time, right?
Yep.
And then you got a little guy there and he's spinning your chair faster for you and it's all good fun.
Yep.
I want to make that, but I can't make something spin while it's spinning around something else and go up and down. No. But I'd like to. So, yeah, I don't know. What don't I like? There are some frustrations with things. Like I say, inventory management's quite annoying. But then there's so many options. Like these framed blocks, there's so many varieties of those that you just end up with millions. Because I need a little corner piece here, and I need a little one of those there, and you craft up a bunch, and then you've got hundreds of them. Well, I don't know. I can't think there's anything I don't like. I love it. It's my new base. To me, it's Minecraft 2. It's what Minecraft 2 should be, and it's success if it was to be successful. And it is. It's Minecraft on a whole new level, and I can't imagine it not being like that in the future. So,
seems legit. I mean, it kind of reminds me of. I started 7 days. I played vanilla, then I started modded. I cannot play vanilla 7 days now. I can't. It's just too dull. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's strange how these things happen, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that is it. That's the end of the questions. If you would like to ask us a question, then you can do by joining the Discord and asking it in the questions channel, or you can fill in the feedback form on the website. As I would like to remind you, if you are enjoying this show and you've got this far, then perhaps you'd like to go over to patreon.com/theblockupdate and help us out. As we said at the beginning of the podcast, Slack, what are you doing this week?
Pretty much daily streams around 4-ish, except for days that, like today, where the podcast or something else is going on. Videos, they come out when they're ready. That's more or less the gist of it for me.
Yeah, I will continue to try very hard to do 2 videos a week until I can't. So I've got kids this weekend. Next weekend I'm going away for a long weekend, so there probably won't be one then. But I'll do my best.
Yep.
Right, all that's left to say is the same thing that I say at the end of every single podcast, and that is if you're not playing Minecraft 2.0, then what are you doing with that vanilla rubbish? Get it out. Put it in the bin.
Wow. that was ruthless. Ruthless no-tail here today. Yeah. Creator, go home, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's create. Goodbye.